So MLB The Show 24 is just about 3 weeks away from being released right now, as of recording this, and there's some major things that really need to be fixed. Today, we're just going to go through a list of just a few things that I think need to be fixed between now and getting this game released, because some of the stuff that's in the game right now really just needs to be fixed. So we're going to go through a little bit of a list, and really just get into it, kind of give my thoughts on why and what needs to change about it, and then go from there and see what really can really be done. So let's start. First things first that needs to be fixed is this right here. These generated minor league fully high elevation, max elevation stadiums. These places are the absolute worst to play at. There's no reason why I should be hitting pop-ups like that on a bad swing that go out for a home run. There's no reason for that. It's just not fun to play at. It's just honestly kind of hurts the gameplay of the game. There's no way in a real MLB game, unless you're playing at Coors Field, where hitting a pop-up is going to automatically go 440 feet. I played at this stadium the other day, and I had a pop-up with Bellinger. It was 80-something miles an hour off the bat. The ball went 416 feet, I think it was. 80 miles an hour off the bat and 416 feet to right field on a pop-up. Then I hit a perfect to right center, and it goes like 390-something. That's not how this should work. That's a big problem that we have here, and something really needs to change, because as you can see, I was late on that swing, the first swing of the game, and it just absolutely carried to left and literally didn't even have a shot of staying in. That's like, if this, like that again, look how far that ball goes. 450 feet. Look where the PCI is. I am so off of that PCI. There's no reason why that should have been a home run. There's no reason for it whatsoever. That needs to be changed. These stadiums need to come out of this game or fix the elevation, because there we go, finally. One where I'm off the ball, and it still carries farther than it should. But that's one thing that needs to be fixed big time. Like, even with the created stadiums a little bit, I don't want to be playing at a stadium max elevation, 270-foot fences down the line with 400 to center field. That just kills the gameplay. And that's kind of going to lead into the next topic a little bit too, which is perfects need to be fixed. So something else that needs to be fixed is perfects. Hitting a perfect feels amazing. I have no problems with it, unless we're hitting a perfect that goes to dead center, and it's just absolutely a piss missile to center field, and then dies at the wall. That's the one big problem that I have with it. You have balls that are hit 108 miles an hour off the bat, that are absolutely obliterated. Hit as hard as you could. It's a perfect. There's no reason why it's a fly out to center field whatsoever. It needs to be fixed. And then you got people who will literally barely get a piece of a ball, be very early on the PCI and on the bottom left where it says it, and the ball's 380 feet gone for a home run. But my perfects are 410 to center field and dying at the wall. Like this. Why? If I was to hit a perfect, it's dead at the wall, but his carries pretty much to the wall right there in foul territory. It just doesn't make sense. It needs to be fixed. They need to revamp the perfect system. What they need to do with that is stop making it so frequent that you're hitting perfects. I'm fine with hitting with good timing with dead center PCI. I feel like I have more success hitting it like that than I do anywhere else. Perfects don't even do anything for me in this game. It feels amazing. It sounds amazing. But at the end of the day, I don't see myself getting more hits with that than I do with good timing and being right on the ball, dead set on the ball. It just needs something needs to change with that. They need to make it less frequent. They need to make it a lot harder to hit them, and really be more rewarding. I don't want to hit perfects on the ground, 110 miles an hour into the ground. I don't want that. I want, if I'm hitting a perfect, at least let it be a line drive. That's where I sit on that. Like, and then, yeah, see, this is just late. They need to kind of tweak the hitting, all around tweak the hitting. Just late on that pitch should not be going 350 feet to center field. Not even close. And then I'm on the ball and early. That's more how it should be compared to just late and hitting at 350 to center field. Hitting needs a full revamp for this next game. They need to make hitting more rewarding, a lot harder to hit the ball. Like, there's no reason why. Look how far off my PCI is on that. I should not be hitting it that far. I was completely under it. I was nowhere near the ball with the barrel of the bat. It should not be going like that. It should not be lifting off that far. But hitting in itself needs to be fully revamped. It needs to really just get an overhaul. Tweak it however they see fit, but just make it more rewarding. I feel like if it's more rewarding, the game's going to have a bit more of a skill gap, which is fine. I'm fine with more of a skill gap. You got to play and test yourself to be a better player. I don't really care if people complain, well, it's too hard to play. I only play to have fun. Well, that's fine. But that should not be a hit. That should not be a double. And it's going to be. That should not be a double whatsoever. But people are going to complain, well, I just play to have fun. Well, okay, then play offline. Or play conquest maps. It's fine if you're not good at the game. I'm not good at this game either. But a little bit more of a skill gap would make this a much more rewarding game than what it is now. Now we're going to get into pitching. And pitching really with pinpoint. Pinpoint, I think, is perfectly fine. Only one real problem I have with pinpoint is the par system. And it's not even really a major problem, but tweaking this will really kind of tweak the hitting a little bit at the same time as well. So if I throw a perfect pitch, it should not be going in the par at all. The par, in my opinion, should be for where it's on good releases, or even when everything's green, or mostly green, 2/3 green and 1 yellow. That's where the par should come into play. And if it's a perfect pitch, it should be right where you locate the pitch. Because if you do that, then you're really having full control over your pitches, which, again, I know this is a video game. It's not something to be taken fully seriously. But if you're going to be a simulation game, thank God this SDS isn't Madden and EA, because that's just brutal as a simulation game. But if you're going to be a simulation game, at least put the control and as much control in our hands as possible, because you can't get a better pitch than that. And then if you're getting all blue, all perfect on your pinpoints, and it's a perfect pitch, and it's still not going where you want it, that's a problem. That needs to really because I'm not gonna be putting a pitch down and away on a fastball and have it bleed over towards the middle and just be low middle, because there's more of a chance of that going for a home run than anything, and that's not where I put the pitch, and that's really what kind of enables the hitting to be the way it is, in my opinion, because being able to locate your pitches is really what's going to throw off the hitters, and it's just not how it really should be worked. It needs to just replicate being a perfect pitch, and like that I'm late on that. Back to the hitting again. I'm late on that. And off the PCI, why is that ball going so far? But they just need to work on the pitching a little bit. The pitching is pretty much, in my opinion, almost perfect, except for the one little tiny thing, which is which is the perfect on pinpoint. If that gets changed, like look how big. I know this is the Moonshot event using common pitchers, but a perfect pitch. Yeah, this is gonna be a good example. A perfect pitch right here. Just looking at it, should not have that much room to go and move around in, because it's not going to go where you want it. It could be a big mistake and cost you a game. It could cost you multiple games. It could really cost you a couple runs that shouldn't have happened, or even a no-hitter or a perfect game. It's just, that's one thing that needs to change. So that's another thing. And then the last thing we'll get into is sets, and I will get into that after this game. So I'll see you guys for that. Yeah, that's what I mean with the perfect pitches. But nowhere where I want that. And that's kind of what I mean right there with the perfect pitches. We're not going where I want it. And again, right there. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. It's just wherever it feels fit to go in the par is where it's gonna go, and that just can't happen. I put that here. Let's put it here again, and let's see. Why is it that when I'm 2/3, I'm mostly yellow, 2/3 green. I have the yellow in there, and it's not even close to a perfect pitch. Has better location than a perfect pitch. That needs to be completely flipped around, and that needs to be revamped, because that's going to be a killer, a big time killer there. All right, so I lied about sets being the last thing. That will be the last thing, but not right now. What I want to get into next is collections. Live series collection is perfectly fine. I do not have a single problem with this whatsoever. Set collection, I don't have a problem with the set collections either. The set collections were fine in my opinion. Just maybe a little too many cards you need for the collections to get all 3 packs. But besides that, I really didn't have a problem with these. They were pretty easy to do once you did Team Affinity. But I think 260 and 300 was just insane. 300 is insane. 170 is more. I think maybe 200, 220 should be where you cap it out at. Not 260, not 300. Set 3, you needed 300 cards to complete it. That was just absolutely insane. That's one of the problems right there. Is you need so many cards just to get the 3 boss packs from the set collection, which if that changes to even 200, 200 is very, very easy to get, which I'm fine with. It makes it a wider. It gives people more of a chance to get it done who don't play the game as much. Even though this game is very easy to grind to get stubs and cards, that's not really a problem. But I really think that just these need to be toned down just a little bit. The cards are fine. It's just the amount that you need to get these collections done is just kind of insane. So maybe tone that down a bit. And then Team Affinity collections. This is what got me a little bit. They brought it in Season 3. It's very easy to do. If you do Team Affinity, which, where is it? Right here. Once you do Team Affinity, you get the cards, you throw them in the collection, boom, you have it done. My problem is, you bring it into Season 3 and only do it for 3, 4, and 5. You got to bring it for 1 and 2 if you're going to do that. You can backtrack and put cards in for the collections. I know it's happened before. You can do it again and put them in. If you're going to do this, or even if you don't want to backtrack and you know you're going to do this, implement it at the beginning of the year. Because at least that was something else where it could have been a variety of different cards to use as well. This was just, come on. This was just lazy on their part, big time. They could have put 2 other collections in. That wasn't that, it's not that hard to do. Now is we're going to get into sets. I personally thought the sets were okay. I know a lot of people had a problem with sets. I personally did not have a problem. As you can see, this team, my main team, is all different sets. I got set 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and core. So I have every set here in my team, just in the hitters alone. Pitching, pretty much have almost every set here. I think sets were fine. My only problem with the sets, you got to tone down the cards. You really do. Let's just take a look at one person. You ready? Trout. He's got a core card, a set 1 card, a set 3 card, a set 4 card. Why does Mike Trout have 4 different cards? No. And then you got Randy Johnson. You ready? Right here. This was a set 2 collection, sorry. Not set 3, set 2 collection. That's all fine and dandy. Then you come over here, and Randy has... Where is it? A chase pack card. He also has a core, a captain's card, and the set 4 chase pack, which is damn near identical to the collections reward. The collections reward is actually a better card than this card. That's got to change. You got to start giving cards to other people that you wouldn't normally give cards to. So if you're going to continue to do the set collections, give juiced up cards to people you wouldn't think about giving juiced up cards to. Like this Luzardo card was fantastic. I think Aroldis had 5 different cards this year. Billy Wagner had, I think, only 2 or 3. Like, there's cards. Let's just go through the marketplace quick. Let's see if there's cards that they could have given updated ones to. Granderson had 2 cards. He could have used a different card. Ellie's got the chase card. That's fine. Al Leiter's a great card. I think Al Leiter only has 2 or 3 cards, and 2 of them are low diamonds that really aren't usable a quarter of the way through the year. Stanton could have used a better card than this. 86 Vision is just absolutely insane. But then you got this McCutcheon card, a fantastic card. Like you gotta give cards to people who you really wouldn't give cards to. If you're gonna continue to do sets, you can't keep releasing the same card over and over again. I might be in the minority on that. That's just how I feel about it. But like I said, we're 23 days away from the game releasing. Let's hope some of these things change for the better that was stated. And honestly, let's just hope 24 is a great game so we can have a bunch of fun with it. I really think that it could be a great game. This wasn't a bad game at all. By all means, this game wasn't bad. This was a fun game to play. I only have 78 games online. Most of those are rage quits. I love the rage quit feature they implemented, where you get the cooldown time for leaving games too much. Love it. That's how it should be. And it's just playing these games and having everybody rage quit. It still sucks, and this kind of made it that people stay in the game longer. I loved it. This needs to stay. They just need to really work on those things that were stated, and 24 would be a fantastic game. But let me know what you guys think. If I'm way out of proportion on it, if I don't know what I'm talking about, and let me know if you guys have any other opinions that I missed out on that for 24 that could make the game better. Let me know. Hopefully 24 is just as good, and honestly, hopefully it's better. So let's go have fun with it when it comes out, and let's just really take it for what it's worth.